This conference will now be recorded.
All right, it's 5:30. We are convened at the Village Hall for Police Committee meeting April 26th at 5:32. I'm going to call the meeting to order. And all trustees are here. Jason Ackerman.
Here.
Adam. Peter, here. And we also have Chief White, and Sergeant Hack, and Julia O'Rourke here. So, no one has signed up for public comment. Any conflicts of interest with the agenda items tonight? Other than UTV rider in the group. We've got the minutes from March 29th in the packet. Anybody have any questions or corrections on the minutes? Not, I'll take a motion to approve.
I'll approve those minutes.
Second.
All right, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Give me the roll call. I am.
Yes.
You taking these or is he taking these? All right, on to the discussion items, body and squad cameras. We've got a copy in our packets. Nick, I'm assuming you're talking about this?
Yep, we have two quotes, one from Axon and one from Motorola Solutions. The Axon quote has expired as of March 31st, and the Motorola quote is good until May 17th. May 23rd. I have applied for the grant through the Illinois Training Standards Board, and they kicked the application back saying that we needed to have the cameras paid for and installed before they will give us the grant. So I called the state back, and they said that a lot of agencies are having an issue with that just because of supply and demand and actually physically getting the cameras. So the woman with Amplifon asked that I write a letter explaining what it is that what we're trying to accomplish. Basically just giving her a timeline of what it would be. And she said, once I have that letter done, go ahead and include it in the packet, resubmit the application. I asked her what the chances of us getting this grant would be, and she said very likely. She said, just go ahead and get that letter. And I wrote the letter, and it's not included in your packets. I should probably go print one for you. Basically just outlining when it would be that we would get cameras.
I'm sorry.
When we will get the cameras and have them installed.
Now, in that letter, do you say something about how it was, our budget was contingent on, or no?
No. It's not gonna have any bearing, so,
They don't care about that.
yeah. Hate to say it that way, but that's.
So what did you say for the timeline then?
I talked to Motorola Solutions, and I got a timeline from them, and they said about 3 months is what it would take to get everything up and running.
Do you need a commitment to Motorola before you could put it in the grant?
Yes.
See, and that's where we have an issue. And how much is the grant?
The grant is $895 per body camera and up to $5,200 per car
Okay,
camera.
slow down, sorry. $895 per what?
Body camera.
All right.
And up to $5,200 per squad camera. However, if you look at your quote from Motorola, and you were to divide those costs up, it looks like they're giving us a price break on what these items cost. So I'm gonna go to the car cameras. Car cameras are $9,000 for 4 squad car cameras. So if we were to take 9,000 divided by 3, we'd be at 3,000 per car camera. I'm sorry, divided by 4.
Wait, that is the single price, because your extended price is $39. That's per.
Oh, that is per, yes, okay.
So we would get half of that, essentially.
Essentially, yeah. Now, the grant does not include storage or accessories or anything else that's included. All it encompasses at the moment is for the physical hardware. She did tell me that within the next couple of months, she didn't give me an exact timeline, there will be another grant released by the state that will include all the ancillary costs. So we would have to apply for that grant at a later time.
And we probably don't know the specifics on window of time, like if you buy it now and then they say, nope, it's only for people that haven't bought yet or whatever. We don't know that.
Well,
Or
this,
how much cost, what the costs are actually gonna cover.
right, we don't know how much they'll actually cover. If you look at, let's see, it is page 7 of your packet. The total cost of the project is $91,564. That page also includes a breakdown of how much it would cost per year if we were to agree to this, this quote and spread the cost out across 5 years. The first year we would pay $25,000 and then it would be broken down every year thereon.
Can we go back to the $895 per body camera in the grant? What is per body camera cost on this quote? Where is that?
That is,
One camera here.
it's on page number 6 of your packet and it is item number 11.
Yeah, so 4140. Now,
That's for
so
the
we
5
have
years.
we have 4 car cameras and 10 body cameras.
Correct.
And will the grant give us 10 and 4, or how does that work?
Yep, it'll give us what we're asking for as far as that.
So 895, but we're paying 4140, but we're paying that over 5 years essentially.
Right.
So it's close to the 895, I would imagine, right? 895 times.
828 divided by 10.
So you just divide the 4140 by 5? Is that what you just
5
did?
years, well, I did it by 10 cameras and I was gonna divide that by.
So 828, yeah, 828 per camera cost, and we get 895. Although the 9,900 that's in the, for the car camera, that's a total cost, and you would only pay 1/5 of that, right?
Right.
So that isn't quite the same, that's not the same mismatch I was thinking, the 5,200 versus 9,900. 9,900 is a 5-year cost, not a 1-year cost.
Right. Actually, it's gonna be less than 5,200 for, so
So,
that's replacing all 4 of them.
Yep, that is replacing all 4 and if we ever needed to add another vehicle to the fleet, all we would do is call Motorola and they would just add that into our cost over the course of the 5 years.
so when you say up to 5,200 on this grant, I'm gonna have to bring this to finance, because we budgeted, we will do this if we get the grants. Now they're saying, no, you buy, and then we'll reimburse if you get the grant, which is a totally different budget story, and it puts us in a little different position. So when you say up to 5,200 for the squad cameras, how do we know? I mean, our cost over 5 years is 9,900. Are they gonna just reimburse us the 1-year cost, or, how do we know what
So
in
that-
the spectrum of 0 to 5,200?
So that first year payment, if you would go back down to page 7, where it's broken down over the course of the years.
What page is it on your quote? I'm on paper.
It's got a number of 91,564.
Okay, got it.
If you look at the breakdown of the pricing summary,
Yeah,
upfront costs for hardware, accessories, and information if applicable, and subscription fees. So that, we would only get the cost of the hardware out of that 25,000 there. Because the grant is only for the physical hardware, it's not for anything else.
so are you saying it would be for 1/5 of the 39.6 and 1/5 of the 41.4?
Yes.
That would be all the grant would be eligible for.
They pay per year back.
No, it would be one
One
payment.
grant, one time.
When we did this the last time and we got dash cameras, it was like 10,000, a little under $11,000. And we got like $10,500 back from the state. So we were only out $500 because that included the installation costs.
So I've got somewhere around a little over 16,000 with the grant would be. If I just take 39.6 plus the 40.4 times 20%, so we do it over 5 years, that's 16,200. That's what we think the grant would be. That's the hardware cost for the body cam and the,
Well, the car cameras are $5,200 a piece, is $20,800 for 4 of them.
what's that?
If you take the $5,200 for the car camera cost, per car camera,
Where's that? I don't see 5,200.
well, I'm just saying, that's what he said.
For the grants.
The grant will pay $5,200 per car camera.
But you're telling me they will pay just the hardware costs, right?
Right.
And for the first year, under the first year line item.
Correct, yep.
So the only part of the hardware that's in that first year would be a fifth of those two costs. Right? Am I thinking about
Oh, I'm
this
sorry, it's
correctly?
57.52, excuse me. That's how much they will
They
give us
allow up to.
right, but they won't give us money that, like if Motorola's only gonna sell us the cameras for 4,000, they're not gonna give us $5,700. They're only gonna give us the $4,000 that Motorola's selling us the cameras for.
So it sounds like the grant will cover the total cost of the cameras.
Correct. Just the cameras, not the subscription fees, not the docking or the installation or anything like that. It will just be, I'm reading it right here. Funds will be used to reimburse for cameras purchased upon award or previously purchased between July 1st, 2021 and June 30th, 2023. Reimbursement costs are limited to $895 for each officer-worn body camera and $57.52 for each in-car dash camera. Only the camera cost is reimbursable. Leases, bundles, accessories, and services, and administrative personnel costs are not eligible. And then it just talks about the law.
So, but
So that it says under number 11 there, for the 4140, 5 years video as service. But that, so I think, Julie, are you?
I
that's
don't think
what-
that, I think you're telling me it's only the hardware portion. That would say it's
4140.
More than hardware.
Is the 4140 including the cloud service or not? That's
That's
I
what
think
it
where
looks like
Julie's
to me.
coming
That's
in.
what it looks like to me.
Exactly, so that doesn't pay, the 5,000 doesn't cover each camera then, right?
well, that's what I don't understand is they want you to have it all installed before they'll reimburse, but that installation cost and the cloud service is included.
Is it included or
Is
is it?
not.
5
Well,
years.
I thought you were gonna go back and ask them to unbundle this more, or is this an unbundled version? Because both cameras say and cloud storage, basically, with the
With you
camera
now.
price.
Well, we currently already have unlimited cloud storage. To an extent.
To an extent. And that was Axon that I was trying to get them to unbundle the TASER portion of it, and they said that they couldn't do that.
Which is baloney.
But that's what you're saying, Julie, is that, you just said 57 what, Nick?
57.50.
Per camera.
57.52 per camera,
Yeah.
but what is the actual
So,
camera?
so if the camera's $2,000 because the cloud is 2,000, they're only giving you,
Right, they're only
2,000.
gonna give us 2,000.
not 4,000.
Yeah.
That's where I think you're coming in, right?
I
I caught up.
see what you're doing there, yep.
Upfront cost for hardware, accessories, and implementation plus subscription fee. That's the total of the 24,364. So all that won't be reimbursed.
Because I don't see any place else that says the cloud as a price. That says and,
And a lot of these say included anyway, so there's not that many other numbers to look at.
yeah.
Right,
So the installation on-site training, of course, wouldn't be included.
which
Wi-Fi.
I don't know if we would actually need the installation because we already have the transfer station that's here on our current system. And I talked to the rep about that the other day. I said, you know, we already have this transfer station here. Because what we would do what would be different between what we currently have and what we would go to is we would not have an in-house storage for these items, for these videos. Currently, officer pulls up to the office, it takes the data from the car, downloads it to a server, and then gives that server access to the internet. The only thing that would be different now is they would pull up to the office and it would send it to the cloud right away. And we wouldn't have anything physical in this building that is storing any of the videos. Everything would be cloud-based, and it's divided up to 7 different cloud warehouse storages across the country. That's designed so that if one of them were to go down, one of the other 6 would pick it up.
Yeah.
And you're saying that so that would not be being used anymore, what you have now?
Correct.
That's what I'm getting out of that, yeah.
So
That cloud here they're talking about is necessary.
yes, yeah. So the whole on-site train and configure, they may not even have to actually do that because we already have a system that's configured to work in that manner. So that, the price might go down just a little bit.
I see.
So I think, Nick, we still gotta go back to Motorola and say, what is we gotta break apart those 2 costs to get an idea of what we're gonna get reimbursed for, don't you think? I mean,
Yeah, I see where you're coming from. I think at the end of the day, it's not really gonna matter. We're either gonna get the grant, we're not gonna get the grant. And,
well, it just matters because I gotta take it back to
Yeah.
finance.
and that's where later on in this, we talk about the ARPA funds.
Yes,
Yeah.
I was gonna bring that up.
Yeah. Because those funds are sitting there and currently not earmarked for anything.
Yeah,
How much for that fund?
203,514.
So 200 plus.
No change.
And we would take, how much of that?
I mean, there's a couple different ways that we can look at that. We can either just pay for the entire project and be done with making payments, or we can agree to pay the subscription fees and just budget out $16,800 every year going forward. And just take the $25,000 that we would need for the first year.
why do I have 2 of these Motorola's? What's the other one? Is it just an old one?
One's body camera and one's in-car.
In-car.
No,
Now, it is possible, reading that again, so the cloud you pay for as a subscription fee, correct?
correct.
So it is possible that 4140, and if you do go back to them, that might be all they have to tell you, is that the 4140 is the camera. The cloud you're paying for in a subscription. That's
Right.
not actually part of that 4140.
Right.
That would help this bunch, right?
Yeah.
If we know that
They said
that's
if
the
they,
camera.
this is, well, that's just part of it.
Like it should say included,
Yes.
you know?
So you have 2 quotes from Motorola, one with the one with the 91,000.
Yeah,
And the other one for 60,
60-some
Yeah.
thousand.
64. If you read the red text in there, 91,000 is to upgrade all 4 of our squads to the newest camera and do the body cameras. The 64 would be to retrofit 3 of our squads that currently have a Motorola system, and then 1 additional system for the new SRO car, plus body cameras.
so brand new, and what is this one?
Upgrading what we currently have.
How is it upgrade and a brand new, and how's is it like software upgrade or something?
Hardware, our cameras are, I think our newest camera is gonna be 4 years old now. Shelf life is about 5 years on equipment like that. I did ask for 2 quotes just to see what the price difference between upgrade to what upgrading everything across the fleet, and then upgrading just to the body camera itself and having to do some finagling in there. But, I mean, that is an option as well, just we won't get as much, we would only get the cost of the body cameras plus one squad car camera if we were to go with that second Motorola quote.
So is this also upgrading your cameras in your current squad or no?
For the 92, yes.
No, the 64.
Nope, that would be just,
So that's just leaving your in-squad cameras the way they are?
Yep.
And buying one additional?
yep, and then adding body cameras.
Gotcha, okay. When you say to upgrade the cars, I'm just thinking, okay, it's.
No,
Yeah, that's what I was trying, I couldn't
Okay,
understand.
I-
Pricing it and
Okay,
upgrading.
so basically,
Retrofitting what we currently have to work with the body cameras versus
gotcha,
upgrading everything across the fleet.
upgrading everything across the fleet. Well, I think I know where my,
And how old are these? I mean, how much more life do these have, the older, the ones that
Yeah,
are installed?
that service life about 5 years.
so
And
you got
the
4 years.
newest of them is 4 years old. And one of the oldest ones has been transferred across 3 different squads, one involved in a wreck. Which, again, it works, but we're noticing a couple of hiccups every now and then with the system that requires some
I
maintenance.
guess my feeling is get away from both cameras and the squads and go replace everything.
And if we replace everything, then if we go with that first quote from Motorola, over the course of 5 years, we can call them at any time and say, this part is broken, they will ship out a new part.
This 91 then, do you have to pay it on a subscription fee or, well, actually, you know, with interest rates the way they are, we could, if we ended up going for the ARPA funds, we could put those in the, what do you call it?
Sinking fund?
Sinking fund to pay for these next series of payments, but we're still gonna have to add to the sinking fund every single year because this is a 5-year subscription.
Yep.
And in 5 years, we're gonna be having this conversation again, right? But we just won't have the bulk.
Of
I
the equipment.
hope.
We shouldn't have the bulk of the equipment because at the very, you know, we could have everything replaced in that amount of time if needed. I would imagine that subscription fees are gonna start to go down. Everyone is raising their rates right now because they know that the state of Illinois needs body cameras. And just like,
By 25, right?
yep, by
So,
25.
right.
So they know that we need it. So these first couple of years are going to hurt. But I eventually see the subscription fees going down because it's going to, it'll be every agency within the state. I mean, how many municipalities are there? Unless they want to start gouging.
All right, so we know the cost is 91,564. We know we're gonna get something off of that or reimbursed from the grant. We just don't really have a good idea how much.
Right, it could be as low as 20,000, it could be as much as 37.
Do you think you could call Motorola just to try to get me that number?
I can try, yeah, absolutely.
Just
Stuart's
take-
been great to deal with.
What's the number for line number 1 and line number 11 for just hardware? That's what we need to know, that I can at least put my numbers together for finance.
Yeah, I will, I'll send him an email before I leave today.
Because even though there's ARPA money there, we have a squad, we're talking about potentially adding to the fleet with more officers.
And that would also add to it, because if we were to do that, we'd have to add another camera. You'll actually notice on your SRO squad build sheet that I gave everyone, I didn't put a price for the camera in there because it's contingent on what we decide here. There's no reason to buy a camera if we know that we're gonna enter into an agreement. But I will get those numbers for you. Like I said, Stuart with Motorola has been great.
And we're 3 months out on this. If we tell them now, we'll get them in 3 months, basically, right?
Correct, yeah,
And
we would
then
be.
we're gonna get the squad around the same time, the SRO squad, or?
So the SRO squad is actually ready to be delivered. We're just waiting for equipment. So once the check is sitting in the mailbox right now, when they come to deliver the squad here within the next week, they'll hand us the keys, we'll hand them the check, we're done. And all the vendors have been notified and everything has been submitted for ordering. So that's the next item to discuss. I'll wait till we're there.
So does everybody agree on the replacement
Yep, replace
versus the
everything.
upgrades?
Yep.
So the 91 quote, basically, you'll get back to me hopefully on the Motorola, if they can split that out, so we just have an idea of what we're gonna be potentially able to get back from the grant, and then I can take that to finance.
And are you okay with me sending them, resubmitting the application with a letter giving them an outline. Actually, I have to wait till we know if we're gonna go Motorola or Axon.
I don't think we can spend $200.
I already folded that up.
Okay,
Shove
perfect.
that over there. Sorry.
And the other plus about going to Motorola, which is not always, or not a big plus, but it's still a plus, Motorola Solutions has a shop here in Rockford. And he is starting to get the parts and pieces for these camera systems, should there be an issue. So we won't be in such of a downtime trying to get parts if something were to fail on
That's
one of
what
our
Rockford
cars.
Communications, isn't it?
The hell's the name of his company? Dave Carter's his name.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, he told me that he's starting to get these parts and pieces just to have, in case an agency comes to him and says, hey, my microphone's not working or my camera's not working. We can just go right to him and say, hey, Dave, I need this part.
Sorry, I have to make a note, because I have so many of these.
No, it's okay, I
quotes want.
understand. As I was putting it together today, I was like, or yesterday, I go, man, how many times have I sent this one out?
Video.
A lot.
Well, I can tell you, because I got them all in this folder here.
They're probably mostly,
Actually, and then another version, I'm sure, maybe, yeah. All right, everybody on the same page here then, going for the full replacement, the 90 plus quote. Nichols, let me know on the, how much of number 1 and number 11 on that quote are actually hardware, which would be potentially reimbursable from this grant, which we think we have a good shot at doing this. But remember, just to remind all of you, the way we pass this in the budget and the way we laid it out to the board is we're budgeting 160 for the bigger cameras, the Axiom. We're not gonna spend them unless we get the grant. This is all different now, you know,
yeah,
so.
it's changed like 3 times.
Yeah, so.
Hopefully that 4140 number is the hardware, and that's just included the cloud. That would help, right?
It would,
Because the grant was per camera.
per camera, yeah.
Yeah. So, if you can get back to me, I might just email me if you get an answer there. All right, moving on. Are we ready to move on? Yep, SRO and vehicle update.
There's a breakdown here of the cost of everything with the SRO vehicle. Vehicles ordered, should be here, like I said, within the next week or so. All the equipment has been ordered as well, so that is ready to, as soon as they start coming in, then we can take it to our upfitter. We're still looking at like 3 months before we had every piece of equipment in, but that's why I jumped on it as soon as we approved it at the board meeting. I was sending out emails that night, letting these vendors know, hey, get that radio ordered, get the radar ordered, get the in-car computer, and all the light, siren, and partitions and everything.
Okay, in regards to the in-car camera though, what are we doing there?
We have to wait until we decide what we're doing as far as the camera system.
So that means we're really looking at 9,900
Yeah,
instead of 49.95 that you
Well-
have here in red?
$49.95 is what the individual, if you were only buying one camera, that's how much it would cost for Motorola, but when we're bundling it with everything else, we get a better rate or a better price.
Oh, wait, but it's, the
99
price is
divided by
9,900 divided by 5 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so that, when I originally built out this squad car, I just asked Motorola for a quote for one camera.
99 divided by 4 cameras, isn't it? Or am I doing that wrong?
No,
No, 9,900 is the price for one camera. If you look at
One
the
camera.
extended price, it's 9,900 times 4 cameras.
Oh, yes, okay.
So I'm just looking at this car outfit here, and it's gonna be 9,900 divided by 5, because you paid over 5 years, at
Yes.
least for a 1-year cost, and I'm trying to get back to the 75,000 that we're charging the school on the SRO.
Yes, and that should still, once everything washes with what we decide what we're doing. Like I said, if we were to just buy the current car system that we have, which is the 4RE, that's what those letters are in there, it's $4,900. But depending on what we are actually gonna do with our cameras, village, or not village-wide, but department-wide.
Okay, if our existing, the ones we're using now is $5,000, what makes us think that this won't be at least $5,000 or more on the new quote?
Oh, that's a good question.
It should be at least that, right?
It should, the cameras that are in the quote for 91,000 from Motorola are an upgraded version of what we currently have. So it's a newer,
More in theory.
yeah, it should be.
So that will get us that's gonna get us about the 75,000 when we put the camera cost in there, which, again, we approved at the board, not to exceed 75.
Well, it all depends on, I guess, the grant going forward.
I guess my feeling, if we don't put a camera in that squad car for the SOR officer, is it really dire that you have that car have a camera in it right away?
2025 it will be.
Well, I mean, it's 2025, but we don't have to do it.
Right.
We sit here and wait
Yeah,
when we do this.
Yeah.
Then spending $95,000 and turn around replacing it 6 months later.
right. Yep, I get you.
That's where I'm going with it. I mean, it's an SOR officer, I mean, on patrol at school, he's not out on the street.
Not my
I should say that he's not gonna be doing full-on traffic stops 24/7. He's gonna be at the office.
So if
You're fine.
we do this one, we're talking
Well,
another
that's
10
okay,
grand to
when
the
he
school.
transports a juvenile female
This doesn't
somewhere, you don't have
include
any
the
recording
SRO
of it,
car, correct?
and they make an allegation of something happening.
There's another
I
squad
don't know,
car
I
that's
thought,
on.
you're gonna get me that too, right?
Yeah, I am, because.
Okay.
Does chief, does he wear body camera?
Right.
Is part
But I
one of
mean,
those
how
body
many
cameras for the
squads,
SRO?
how many
would have
cameras
to,
do we
yeah.
need today? Like, this
That's
quote
part of
says 4, is that what
Okay.
we need today, and does that include the SRO vehicle or no?
4 includes the SRO vehicle.
It does include it, okay.
Yep, that does include the SRO car. That's how I built it out, was knowing that the SRO vehicle would be coming in.
But not an additional one if we determine we need an additional one for the additional.
Correct, that is not included in this quote, but can be added quickly, he said. Because then it would just be the cost of the actual car camera.
So guys, so as we're talking about this ARPA pool, there's not only this, there's potentially another squad as we're building out our police force. We're gonna need more vehicles for them to drive, and we're gonna have overlapping shifts, which we haven't had in a very, very long time. Jeff, you could probably attest to how long it's been.
wow.
So there's gonna be more of a vehicle needs, so that's another thing we're gonna look at is what does the fleet look like, what are the scheduling, who needs what car, do we need to?
But I have that all ready for you. I'll get it to you before we go. So yeah, that's where we're at. The school is already, obviously, they were elated to get the signed agreement for the SRO. John took it immediately, and the Chamber of Commerce is doing a event in June, and a big push of that event is school safety. So Dr. Schwoko is going to introduce Officer Spellman to the chamber at that event and have him talk a little bit about being school resource officer.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
It's in June?
Yep, I believe I put it in my calendar. I'll tell you when. All right, I did not put it in my calendar, but I will. I don't know.
Email.
Oh, sorry, that's not it either.
And then did we decide, and it's a little off topic, but tied to the SRO, did we come up with an interview for a backup SRO? We talked about that 2 meetings ago, maybe?
No, because the individual that we were originally thinking might be leaving us, so,
Oh, chicken notice?
nope, not yet. But,
Is this speculation or?
yeah. So that might be something that we'll have to contend with.
Is there a runner-up?
Yes, to a certain degree, but still new and still on probation. Somebody who expressed interest in it during the interview.
Is that, can you say? Or if you'd rather not, that's all right.
Yeah, I'd rather not.
Okay.
Current employee?
How long's probation? I mean, we're still talking till next school year, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they'd still be on probation until,
Oh, is that?
I don't just think we're not gonna have a backup
1
right
year.
for the first year,
it's possible.
if that's gonna. All right,
Oh, and speaking of SRO, sorry, we're still on topic. There's currently a training set for June, and we have our officer scheduled to go to it. However, he's the only person scheduled to go to it in all of the region at the moment. So we might have to end up sending him somewhere else in the state to attend this training.
Okay.
We will keep everyone apprised about that.
Okay. All right, ready to move on to the next one? C, recruitment and selection.
Completed the background check on our candidate. And I think that we can move forward to sending him a job offer, contingent on passing the psych and the medical.
When's the next board meeting?
The 8th.
So you'll have that ready to, I think we have to get that approved, don't we?
I don't know, do we have to have that approved by the board, or can we send him the offer and contingent on passing everything?
I'm just trying to remember if we had to vote on it on board first, or, some of those things escape me. I just remember, I think we always approve the hiring of,
Mm-hmm.
so how long will it take to finish the rest of this background anyway?
Background's complete.
The psych and all that, that you usually get the offer pending that?
Right, yep, we usually get the offer pending.
Which we've done that before, or I think we've done that here.
Yeah, police,
Yes.
yep.
I think we're probably
Because we've never brought it up, we never brought it to the board before.
Yeah, because we just recommend their hire at the board meeting. And if I were to tell him tonight, get those things scheduled, he would have them scheduled. The problem is the medical screening. We just got a letter this week saying that the clinic that we've been using for that will no longer do it for us. For the entire village. So Kelly and I have been trying to figure out where we were going to send him for his medical
Were
screening.
you doing it here locally, or?
It was off of, where did we used to send him for medicals?
OSF, I think they're out now.
Yeah, because it's UW-Madison now, and that's where the
Question,
letter came from.
what are we,
It's just a DOT physical.
is it required?
Yeah.
Yeah, that physical is required.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, it's nothing more than a DOT physical, blood pressure, all that. And we have a checklist, if you will, from the last 2 that we've done, last 3 that we've done. So we can probably send them to almost any clinic and say, check these items for us.
I was surprised that physicians doesn't do that.
And
Yeah.
we used to use physicians back in the day. I don't know why we switched. So that was one that Kelly and I were talking about, just going back to physicians for. Because we use them for almost everything else. So I don't see a reason why we couldn't.
I'm happy to check with Frank, I just don't remember if we have to get that approval.
I can look back and see if we have protocol from
I
before.
thought we always brought it to the
I
board,
think, yeah. they
saying
can
you
do that.
recommend that the hiring of at this rate, and then we vote, and then the offer's made at that point.
Yes.
I mean, you could do the recommendation by the police committee, that way you wouldn't have to have a second, but
Because we've always, when we offered, it wasn't at the board meeting, it's never been pending results of a
Right,
site
so we've
poly.
been-
It's always full board approval, this is your start date and your rate. So out of this committee, there's no big push to them to do the physical and all that stuff.
Well, what's typical though, do they get an offer and then do scheduling those things, or do
Yes.
they?
yeah, because they have to pass them before they can be hired.
And
So
we
you
talked
can-
about a June 1st start date anyway, right?
Yeah,
So there's-
May 28th,
That and May,
just so that it,
the insurance piece.
Yeah.
So we can sit there pending it right now because he doesn't, nothing's guaranteed till May until he gets approved by the full board anyways.
Well, when's our next board meeting, 8th or something?
Yeah, May.
So if we need a motion here, so we can send him off to do his physical, what is it, physical and what?
Physical and psych.
Physical and psych, I make that motion right now. Right, that's what we gotta do.
I don't know, like I said, I just don't know if the board, the board has to approve it before we make an offer, I don't know.
We're not making them an offer. You're not, you're continuing the process, you're not offering them a position.
But you
Until
just said
the
you make an
full board.
offer, it's
Right.
typical, you make an offer and you say, go get your psych evaluation, that's what the typical.
And you'll get the job contingent on passing your psych and your medical screening.
I don't think that's how we were doing it.
Have your own computer to look at it. I know that the last time I sent out a letter with a job offer that they had to sign, it said that you will start on this date with this rate of pay,
Yeah,
should you pass your physical and your.
and that went to the board first, that was with the last two hires, we just hired two, right, with, McNeely and.
Well, okay, then don't send a letter, just send them off to do his physical.
Okay.
And I mean, and then you send them the letter on May 8th when we get the results back. If it passes, okay, you got a job, if you don't,
I mean,
it's,
yeah, that is another way.
it's a tomato.
And we can send them out for.
You can send them out now, and then get the results back, and offer them the job on May 8th to start the 28th.
Well, I think what you run into is if you're giving them the letter, that covers the fact that those bills wouldn't go to him, they would come to us. Because it's contingent upon he's being offered a position if he passes.
I think we
If he doesn't
estimate
pass,
it's not
the
gonna
bill
be
should
the
be
end of
ours
the world.
anyways.
Is it? I
No,
mean,
if
if
he
you get it
doesn't
approved
pass,
at the
the
May
bill should be ours
8th board
anyways.
meeting, you're sending
We
them
got
to
time.
us the next
We have-
day,
we
he
have-
gets it done, he starts.
We have to send the letters to the medical people and the psychological people that he's coming
Yeah.
and set these up, so
Yeah.
without having, I mean, that's just past practice, we've always gave them a letter, basically a letter of intent, you know, but contingent upon you passing these two things, your employment is, you know.
And is that a reasonable time, May 9th through May 28th to get this done, and
I would imagine so.
Psychological is not, doesn't take that long to get there.
Yeah, they're usually pretty good about, and,
The results come back pretty quickly.
yeah, within.
It'd just be a matter of who we're gonna send to for the medical, because
Which I'll talk to Kelly about.
the last place we used to have them send them to, they're no longer taking them.
so can we talk about at least what you're talking about offering, so this group knows, for the board meeting then?
$28 an hour, starting May 28th. 28, that brings him to the same level as, not entry level, where we brought in our last two, but the next run up based on his training experience. He's got 20 years experience. I mean, honestly, I think we could probably offer more, but I don't want to start angering other current employees.
And you've already talked to him about the rate?
Yes. I talked to him about a range of rates, and I don't think that'll be an issue.
Okay. And I sat in on this interview, I know, when Jeff and Nick, so, yeah, I think he fit in fine.
I think so, yeah.
All right, so everybody comfortable with that? And we can do a motion for that and bring it to committee to recommend it if you want to do it that way. So, but we would need a name at that point, we would need a name then.
Correct.
Are you comfortable doing that?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Open session and all that? All right, so you're gonna have to give us a name so that these guys know, so someone can make a motion.
David Cotter. Dave Cotter. So,
Does somebody want to make a motion?
I will make that motion
To hire.
to hire
make
Dave
an-
Cotter, not to hire, but
Make an
to,
offer.
to make him an offer pending his results for the psych and his physical
At 28 an hour,
at $20 an hour,
starting May 28th.
starting May 28th.
Great motion, Adam. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
All in favor,
Yeah,
Adam?
that's so good. I'll second it.
Jason?
Yes,
Julie, yes. Okay, so we'll take that from
better than
committee.
mine would have been.
All right, UTV ordinance. I did sign, I guess you did send us the updated spreadsheet. I'm just trying to keep this up to date. I was happy, Jeremy did let me know that he's actually reviewed this, thought it through, and didn't think we had anything that we were missing, so that's nice. Again, I did that intentionally so that hopefully when we get to the written format from Gary, it'll be just like we'll know everything's covered. But I didn't get the review back, so I don't have anything on the document itself. But Jason, you're at the top of the list here on the maps, so I know you gave us an email on the maps. You wanna, if you don't mind.
So what I-
just do that?
What I did, well, Kelly helped me with this. She actually made the lines and everything, but my idea was, I had her, the first time we did it was hard to tell the corners down there, the gas stations.
Mhm.
So we made a second map for that area. We left that off the first larger area map. If you
So
know.
red means don't go there.
Yes, I did it that way because otherwise there'd be lines all over the place. I thought that was more confusing. And I did Faulkner Road so that it bordered everything. It was easier for my eyes to tell if I was trying to make it easier to read. Maybe it is not. I mean, you'll see I even marked the prairie path or the walking path.
Now, the Cunningham that's not red, that's not allowed to go on, is it?
Yes, it will be.
If they get the county to agree to it, yeah.
Yeah, so the county has to agree to it first.
Right.
And
Yeah, but I don't see a reason to not. I didn't put that on yet.
do we have that on our list, on our checklist?
It's been talked about, so if it's not on the checklist, I know it's in progress.
Well, what do you mean it's in progress? Who's doing it?
I talked to Aaron right after that last board meeting, and he understood why that Chief White and the police would have an issue with Cunningham being, well, anyway, that's how it was presented at the board meeting. So you wouldn't have it for a temporary time where that was illegal to ride there and then have to change it later. So Aaron is working on that as we speak, supposedly.
And it's just to unread the unread part?
No.
What is it for?
It's to make it, the red, you cannot ride.
Right,
This map is correct if the county passes that.
so what the county has to do is the Cunningham that is not read really should be read under today's ordinances by the county, but when the county changes it, the non-read part of Cunningham is what they're working on.
That's right. There you go.
You and I, we're working on this communication
Yes,
thing.
yes. And the reason it's that area is because that's all the 35 mile an hour or less area, which Mary sent the vehicle code and I was looking at over before, and that's what it is, 35 or less mile an hour. So every other street is that 35 mile an hour less, and that's why I thought by the time we made where you could go, the thing would get very confusing.
Yeah.
So I decided to go with where you couldn't go. And then, like I said, the second page there is because I thought that was I think everybody thinks that's an important area. And I wanted it to be better seen because when we did it on the main map, it was just a red dot.
Yeah,
It was very small.
yeah, for sure.
But I thought, I don't know, adding the prairie path, some of that stuff made it, so you look at the thing and you kind of can also get a feel for where you're at. And this can be done, we can talk to Wingis about doing this.
Officially making an official map,
This was just to bring to here.
print and highlighted with the probably word paint.
I'm being stupid here. So the road Cunningham, and then you got the big long red one. What is that road?
That is your bike path.
Well, that's
Oh,
a
that's
bike
bike
path.
path. Oh.
I thought it was a good idea to mark.
Here's up here.
Yeah. I saw McNair and I'm like, what is that road? Why am I not thinking?
It's not a road, because it's not a road, that's why.
That's why.
Don't worry, I did the same thing when I first looked at it.
This-
I know,
was thinking, what is it? Why?
No, but that's good.
Yep.
But yeah, we would want to label it.
I thought it helped reference, now you know where that's at.
The middle of town.
Yeah.
Reference
Middle
using
of town.
separate exact, it's like, what is going on here?
Okay.
what
No, I
is
think that's
going
good.
on?
Okay.
More north of 20.
And that would, this would literally be attached to the ordinance, basically.
That's right.
I would say that maybe exhibit.
Whatever we hand out, that's what we
I,
do.
I would say it'd be a decent handout if we can get that all, it's, here's your sticker, here's the map where you can go,
Yeah.
stuff like that, and then it's up to them to behave.
Make them glue this to their windshield. You can't tell me you didn't know you were supposed to be here. It's right there in front of you.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean anything.
Oh, gosh. All right, so that looks good. And then the sign, I know you did send us, some messages on the signs. And you've been working with Chad on
Did I
that.
give you that?
Chad
Chad had a
From
price.
Chad, well, from you and Chad, yeah.
He had a price on there. It was somewhere around 2,500 by the
Yeah.
time you get upgraded, he upgraded the, per Adam's request, what do you call it? Adam?
Reflectivity or?
Yes.
So there was originally priced, there's 3 tiers for reflectivity: engineering, high intensity, and I think diamond grade, if I remember correct. And so everything was engineer grade, which
I had the
after a
lowest,
few
yeah.
years, you're not gonna see anything. And let's just go to the next thing, high intensity.
It wasn't that much more either.
Because I asked, is this what all of our speed limit signage are getting at? Because if that's the case, no, why are we buying the cheap low intensity
Right.
when you can hardly see them down the road? We'll go with high intensity or diamond grade and call it good.
So 2,500 costs for posts and signs. Chad's aware, understands where they're going, understands what he's doing.
Correct,
He's on board.
yes. Many discussions, between, other than the emails, I talked to him in person, way back when, and he was all on board for having this, yes.
All right. Check.
2,500, yeah.
And these, do you have any idea the turnaround time to order these things?
I can't remember if he put that in there. I don't think it was very.
I don't see any timeline on there. Actually, again, I don't see one here before this too.
I did see myself on there, but it's okay.
Yeah, I guess he didn't say that.
I scared him to death about Open Meetings Act. He doesn't say anything now.
Me?
No.
Oh. I want to say the one email, I thought it was like 2 to 3 week delivery or something like that.
I mean, it doesn't matter, we're still waiting for the copy of the ordinance, but it would be nice to know what your timeline is so we can work back.
Sure, that should be easy enough to have him email that. Because see, he's gonna order them through his vendor too, not that one I had picked out.
Yeah,
Because he can get the Telstar posts and everything that way.
Well, while we're on the subject of that and signs and all that, the park district did ask that
Oh.
we give them some signs that say no motorized vehicle on their paths.
Okay.
So
So how many more is that?
probably like 2 or 3. It's not that many.
Okay.
It's not that big of an area.
when you say paths, you just mean by the playgrounds and stuff?
Yeah. That was the only thing that Michelle said. She said as long as they are parking in their lot and just using their lot like a car would, she's perfectly fine with them using it. However, she did ask that we provide some signs that say no motorized
Oh,
vehicles.
because they have those golf cart type paths, don't they?
Yeah.
They're wider.
Yeah.
Well, they're technically walking paths.
Yes, I know,
Yes, yeah.
6,
Right,
8,
but you could fit a machine on, and they're not a sidewalk, right? I
Yeah,
guess.
they're not the concrete, they're paved just like our
Right,
path here is.
right.
So yeah, that was
That's
her
fine,
only
okay.
request.
I guess we just gotta find out how exactly where she wants them
Mhm.
and how many. And
Okay.
I think we'll just go from, let her decide where they want them. Because
Sure, I
then
mean,
it's-
the only-
Maps can have that.
The only legal way they're
Park
gonna be able to
path, little
access
park
those
paths
paths
along the
are
equipment
from
and
the
stuff.
parking lot.
Right.
You mean if they don't put it with
Because they
this?
don't have any other access, do they? Okay.
I mean, there'll be
You
signs
gotta have
that would be
another-
helpful.
Goes around
Yeah, I
one
didn't know
wall
if
then,
it was
right?
easy, just like you did the, bird path. I doubt that level of paths that.
You'd have to have another page again.
I think what you might think about is a sign that says no vehicles beyond this point.
Sure.
instead of no ATVs, because you're gonna have people that might want to, oh, I can't go on the path, but I can go in the grass.
Well,
And I don't think she wants them in the grass either.
No, just where a
So
car.
no motorized vehicles beyond this point. And you can just put them around the parking lot.
Oh, yeah, there you go. That makes sense. Kind of blocking the parking lot, if you will.
oh, okay.
Yeah. No more-
Yeah, I bet she's open to whatever, as long as we
Yeah,
sign it.
Yeah, she
I mean,
said
that's good. You give the impression, okay, they can't go down the paved path, but okay, well, now we can go through the grass. Well, no, that's not the idea, because I can see people doing that. Oh, I can't go on the path, but okay, I can just ride it up to the baseball diamond in the grass. If you just put no motorized vehicles beyond this point.
Yep.
It's
I know
gonna
I had asked you that at one point, being a UTV rider, do they just go on the grass whenever they feel like it, or not?
Actually, they can't go on private property without,
I thought that was in the ordinance, but what are you asking, if somebody will?
Yeah, I mean,
If it's private property, but I don't think they will, especially if there's a sign there. I mean, anybody can do anything, but
Yeah.
as far as will they, or that's like what they want to do, no, I don't think so. Not the ones that want to be able to ride them in town.
so how many parks and how many signs are we talking about here?
I was seeing 3 signs, it looks like, I'm just looking at the entrances to the path, 1, 2, really only 2, so.
Do they come right off the parking lot, like,
The one right along.
the only
Runs parallel.
path that accesses the parking lot, you can't, unless you drive to the grass somewhere else, you can't get to that walking path.
Yeah,
so like he says, man, maybe we should just put them around the parking lot, I don't know.
Okay, no
She's not
motorized
gonna
vehicles
care as
beyond
long as
this
we
point.
do something.
Yeah, as long as we do,
I would imagine, I'll talk to her, or you can talk to her.
yeah, either one. Yeah, she was great she answered me almost immediately.
But that isn't gonna up the price, well,
probably
very
adding
much.
$100 if we're talking just a couple of more signs.
Yeah,
Your
I'd have to
expensive part of all this purchase is gonna be your Telstar.
look at my cart. Yeah, if there was a problem with that, Chad, I mean, I don't know what kind of budget we.
We don't have a budget for this.
Yeah, I know, so we're at, what are we doing?
And she just said I would definitely get some more signs that say no motorized vehicles on the path. She has one, but she would like to post them at both path entrances.
Okay,
There you
I
go.
keep it with what she said.
I would just stick
One
to
on
what
each
her
path
recommendations,
entrance
what she
and
wants,
be
and
done with
let,
it.
that's for me, that's their choice.
There we go.
So wait, what was it again?
Just
Um,
2.
Just two more
Just two
signs.
more signs.
Yeah, because she's
That's
got
same.
No
one.
motorized, what's it, no,
It says no motorized vehicles on the path.
there you go.
And school district is still checking with legal?
School district is checking with legal, yes. But we also have an agreement with the school, so I would imagine that, it will probably be fine. Our agreement is that we can enforce traffic laws on their property and treat it like a city street. So it would be the same for these vehicles as well.
Let's see, so the Mary stuff is just all in Mary's, review pile. Change of speed limit on McNair, I don't think anyone's doing anything with that one yet, correct?
Not yet, no.
That probably have to be voted for, I'm assuming.
Yep.
So you might as well
That would have to be, what is there?
voted on by the board.
And that is our street to control?
Yep, all the way up
Yes.
to Faulkner.
And in the conversation I had with Frank today, he's looking at a CAL meeting for either June or July. So maybe that would be a good CAL meeting discussion.
I don't know if we have to wait for that, but yes, do you think? I mean,
No, I would just put it on the agenda,
Or, yeah, we can just,
I would just add it to an agenda, for a June agenda right now, or throw it on May and scratch it off. I mean,
but we're only gonna change this, the whole thing goes though, right? I mean, so we put it on the same agenda as the,
as the
ordinance.
UTV ordinance. Yep, yeah, we do it that way. I like it.
I don't think it,
Yeah.
it doesn't even count.
All right, school district is in the works, park district we already talked about, inspection is an event we talked about, or I guess we talked about a checklist though.
Yeah, and that's in what Mary sent there.
Yeah, so we just have to make sure what Mary sent, and I can take on this one, because the ordinance, that all that has to be on the permit, and in the ordinance. And I assume it already is, because I'm sure Byron's already went through this process, but,
Yeah, I wanna say I looked and it matches this, but
okay,
it needs to be checked. But she highlighted it all.
okay.
Where, Chief, are we falling on you to do these then, or are you?
There's no, it's whoever issues the permit, they just have to.
So any police officer can issue the permit, is that what I'm?
Is Kelly the one who issues the permits?
I think it would be, I mean, I know that Peck, I think they're doing the inspections, Peck PD. And that's something that we would have to discuss whether or not we.
Yeah. It's just a matter, and Mary's gonna weigh in on this, because she's gonna say, we shouldn't have somebody from the village doing it.
No, well, we talked about, the village thing was the inspections originally was because we were gonna open it up to every vehicle, every type of vehicle. Then when we came to this, I brought this up in the last meeting with Mary. She's gonna send us what the state says, what has to be done. We'll make sure it's in the ordinance, we'll make sure it's on the permit checklist, and truly, the inspection is, yes, you have a flag that's 8 feet tall, or whatever the heck it is. Yes, you have headlights, yes, you have a horn, yes, you have, I mean, that's the inspection. It's not, this is suitable to be on the road, it's, you've passed everything off the checklist.
You're meeting the requirements we've set in our ordinance,
Yeah.
more or less is what it is.
So it's not an inspection, it's not a sign off,
No,
this
right.
is not hazardous, that you're safe. I mean, it's, you have your headlights, you have your horn, you have your.
All I'm asking is
Yeah,
who's
this-
doing that?
Whoever issues the permit, which they probably should put on this list too. We have
The equipment is supposed to have brakes, a steering apparatus, tires, a rearview mirror, red reflectorized warning device in the front and rear, a slow moving emblem as required by other vehicles in the section. On the rear of the non-highway vehicle, a headlight that emits, on the rear,
No,
headlight that emits a white light, yeah, that's not right. Visible for a distance of the 500 feet to the front, a tail lamp that emits a red light. It seems like it only has to have one.
Mhm.
Visible for at least 100 feet from the rear, brake lights and turn signals to operate on a roadway.
And that's from the Byron one?
This is from a state statute. This is what Mary sent.
You think in Byron's police issue the permits then?
It's a good question, I can find out.
Yeah, I don't know, I mean, in my mind, I was always thinking Kelly, especially if there's a checklist with simple things on it, like the things that.
Yeah, I would imagine that
Chief just.
anyone in the office could probably do that then.
I
Doesn't need to be the
mean, they do
police.
all the other permits, right?
Right.
So because I mean, I know I asked Mary specifically, so that we do not have to do an inspection per se, we just are looking at the vehicle to make sure it matches everything.
You're not inspecting it for mechanical problems. You're just making sure it has the equipment it's supposed to have.
You're
So,
checking, making sure they meet the minimal requirements.
it has, they have everything on that list except turn signals and a slow moving emblem when you buy them.
What's, that's missing from the state ordinance, or that's missing from our ordinance?
No, I'm just saying the state ordinance, the vehicles come with everything they have
Oh,
listed except for turn signals, which you add, you have
okay.
to add. This does not say horn. Did you see horn?
No, wasn't listed.
I didn't see.
So that's not required by the state, so we may wanna take that off.
I
if we're
would
just
not
gonna-
want to have a horn.
Okay, then we have to leave it in there. I
What
don't
if
know.
it's
But that's a,
We
that's
also
a
have,
added.
we also have the light and whip in our ordinance too, that you suggested.
Yeah,
That's
that was
not,
already
that's
in
not
there,
in here
yeah.
either. That's not in
Yeah,
the
so we
state.
could, but we could, these
It's
are
not-
minimum requirements.
Well, you can always
We
Right,
have-
yeah, you can go above and beyond what the state
Right.
minimums are.
Yeah, that was the flag and everything. I was.
It was a
at the
flag,
time wanting
that was
to
one of
be
those
seen.
things where it wasn't required, it was an accepted. The
Right.
whip accepted
Turning
with
signals and
with the flag.
Except it don't.
Was that turn signals?
You always have to add turn signals, a horn, if you're gonna have horn, and a
Sure.
slow moving emblem. Like tractor emblem.
Yeah.
On our,
And I think all three of those were in our ordinance draft.
I believe you to be correct.
That's not a couple extras, I think. Cause the lighted whip or flagpole was listed as well.
that was just to get seen better when we started this, anything to make them safer.
I actually saw two of them with those lighted whips
They did.
right out here. It was on a trailer.
Yeah, see, when you go to parks and stuff, that's where the flag comes from and those whips.
Yeah,
Because you have that up there so they can see over a hill and things like that.
Was mandatory insurance required?
Yes. That's in the state statute and in our ordinance, I'm sure it is. Or the Byron ordinance, whatever you want to call that.
All right, I'm gonna pass through my done items on this checklist. Draft ordinance, again, those are with Mary. Permit draft is with Mary. Mary she had at the start of the indemnification, but I haven't seen anything from that yet. Obviously, I'm gonna move forward without that document, so, I think that's pretty much where we're at.
Stickers, it all depends on what we're looking for, but if you can get 100 of them for $150. And it varies how fancy you want to get with these stickers, so for a few $100s, you know, we can get stickers. Came up with an idea.
I just recommend they be numbered somehow.
Yeah, no, we can number them. I was gonna talk to you, I don't know, with your system, you're talking about adding these numbers. Is there a certain amount of digits you need, or is
No.
it whatever you decide?
Whatever.
So we'll just start at 1,000, instead of
That's fine.
1, we'll just do 101, 102.
Fine.
But then I was thinking, so we're not buying stickers every year with, like, the new stickers. You have your main permit sticker, is like with the number on it, and then we're gonna get little smaller stickers with just the year on them. So when they gotta come in and renew, we're not having to sit here and buy 100 of these full-on stickers with 101, 102, 103. You're just gonna get like a license plate.
2024.
Yes, like a license plate. You know, your stickers gonna be your main license plates, and then we're just gonna get, hey, we know we have 20 permits out there right now. We need at least, 20, 24s.
Yeah, makes sense.
Save money, we're not gonna sit here with, 10 years down the road, and we're gonna have 500 stickers sitting around. No, because then over the course of the next 5 years, we can use this first 100 roll out. And then we can just add to it, and just keep buying the
Yep, I see
registration stickers.
what you're saying, that makes sense.
So,
That's easy.
yeah.
And your log has to address transfer, like Frank had said. So,
Yeah, we can make that.
you know, that number, would you, and I'm not just asking, would you transfer the number so the sticker stays the same, or do you just cancel that number off? I don't know.
I
It's all to
think
think
with them
about.
being non-transferable, I think you just cancel it.
Yeah, I think we just cancel.
Cancel that number and they get a new
They
one.
get a new registration
that
sticker and
seems
then
easier.
the year
Yeah.
sticker. So I think it'll be the best bet, and you're not sitting here with, thanks, now we got a closet full of stickers.
Yeah, yeah, because what I would do is I would basically make a spreadsheet for the front office, since they are gonna probably see those a lot.
Yeah, sure.
And then I will transfer it into our RMS. It'll have all the registered owners' information and everything saved into it. That way, if we make a traffic stop on that
Fancy.
particular UTV, every agency in the county will know that that belongs to that person.
And can you send me this
Yeah,
image?
yeah, sure can. Actually, I don't know when I made that image, so.
Send it to me. Please.
For the sticker?
Yes.
Put the cart before the horse.
Yeah, 'cause
Don't
the other-
order anything else.
on the
No,
other-
we'll design it, get some screenshots, this is what we're looking at.
Yeah.
I'll get some of the year.
Yeah, because all the other ones say, I think Winnebago Indians on it, that one does not, and that was the reason why we redesigned that one, so, yes, I will send that over to you.
You could also, however you wanna do it, is have the owner number their vehicle, a certain number that we have, and the only thing we would have to buy is a sticker for the year.
Kind of like license plate.
Are these registered with the state at all, recreational vehicles? No?
Not yet, I hope they do someday.
I didn't know, like boats, they gotta,
Yeah, both have to be registered with the conservation,
Snowmobile, yeah.
just like the snowmobile, so that's kind of where I came, the idea of just having put a number on it, and all we do is a sticker for the year.
Could do that too.
that's where I guess I was going with, we give them the number, because
Yeah, you get a sticker back.
with the state, you were given a number, aren't you? I think with the boats.
Yes.
You're given a
It's a
number by the
registration
state.
number they give
And then
you.
I just gotta get a renewal sticker.
It'd be
That's-
more ordered, I don't know, maybe I don't understand what you mean, but if somebody's picking it out, couldn't you just get any number under the sun?
Well, I think what you would do is you'd have to say, they came in here to register, say, okay, your number this.
Oh, yeah.
What do you put that?
Have them get their own stickers down
Yeah,
at you.
just the numbers. But you can do it either way, we can do a
Oh, I
sticker.
see what you're saying.
I didn't understand either, I get you.
I thought we were.
You're giving out the number,
Smell
you're
it,
giving
when you're
out
out
the
the
number,
number, they have to put it on their vehicle.
I thought.
you're
we were
saving
going
the
with-
sticker cost, yeah.
However, it doesn't really make any difference to me, idea.
It all get paid by community development anyway.
Yeah, right. Right.
Well,
There's
hopefully,
gotta be community development budget.
hopefully we'll pay.
Wait a minute, we have a budget over there?
Hopefully, you
There is a
know,
little bit of a
the
budget
material
there.
stuff we have right now will get paid for in the next 2 years, I'm assuming, because you got $2,500 in signs. We'll have, just say on the high side, $250 in stickers. That's the high side, very high side. So
Yeah,
for
I-
$3,000, what are we issuing our permits at? What is it, what is our first
What is the
permit?
permit? What did we?
$750, I think is what.
No,
A
that was
permit,
a-
that's a ticket.
That's a-
100.
Was it 100? So, okay, if you had 30 people, we've already covered our materials that we just bought.
Right,
Yep.
right.
I don't think we'll get 30 your first year,
No, I don't think so either. I think
but if you got 15, okay, you got 50% of it, and you got your stickers, so in a couple of years, we'll hopefully recoup our money.
makes sense.
Get a few tickets on there just to speed it up.
Yeah. I'll be out there right
If you
away.
think about the possible process of, well, you wouldn't be able to do that, that vehicle here to be inspected, so that wouldn't work. People that might wanna go online and buy their sticker, but the vehicle has to be inspected first.
Well, I mean, they can buy it, but they're not, you have to come in person with your machinery.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
You know, we gotta come in person
You
with your
can't,
machinery.
I would rather just issue the stickers in person.
Yeah.
That way we don't,
Yeah.
okay, you're here, but your vehicle's not here, so we can't inspect it, so you can't get your permit.
All right, so I'll follow up with Mary again and, see if I can get a time commitment on this so we can move it forward. Because that, I think, is the biggest thing at this point. Okay.
Now, wind just costs money. Are we doing, I don't know yet how much, but if this isn't good enough, we want something nicer. I think it costs. Do I have to just wait on that then? Is that what I'm,
Yeah, I mean,
I think that we,
or is this plenty good?
I think we pay for part of that.
yeah, I think that the village pays a flat rate for things that we.
that's what, because Frank
Wait, I
sent
like
that
it.
email out to all of us
I
saying.
like
If
it.
you want a map, they'll print it for you, it's part of our, I think, our subscription, that we're paying for already.
I can answer.
Yeah.
Buy one more ream of paper for the year.
All right, can we move on?
Yeah.
ARPA funds?
Please.
And I already touched on that, so.
Yeah, I kind of already touched on that, that just, what you have is what I got from Sally Bennett explaining how much money sits where and what it's already earmarked for. The ARPA item is the last, row on there.
Okay.
And I know that, 203,000 already was committed to O&M for a water infrastructure project. And it's possible that they might be looking for more money as well, so I wanted to see what our chances of getting any of that money would be. And we can use that for either the camera project, another squad car, or what combination thereof.
Okay.
What did you say was left in there?
203,000.
So there's also just over $10,000 of the CARES Act.
Yes, and we also have cannabis money that is coming in from the dispensaries in the state. We have about $11,000 in that
Yeah,
fund.
but that's limited to training, right?
Well, it's limited to anything that would support the detection of narcotics.
That could be a vehicle.
Oh,
And
really?
that could be-
I thought it was.
Enforcement of drug statutes.
Right, which DUI drugs is a huge one right now, especially with cannabis becoming a legal commodity these days. We're seeing a rise in
So I would
cannabis.
think almost cameras would be in that bucket too.
Cameras could also be in that.
I mean, do we know for sure?
We don't know
what's allowed?
100%, because this is the first year of that, so we're not really 100% sure exactly what can be used. It can just be used for either the training or the detection of drug-related crimes.
And gambling money too?
Gambling money is coming in a little bit heavier than what was originally thought, so that's also another option.
And a new facility just opened up.
Mhm.
We are having, parks upgrades, so if the police wanted to donate some ARPA money to that.
Okay, so I
We
was
can
gonna
put
ask.
your
You've got
names
100,000 slated to community development, 2023.
I knew you'd call that out. That's all we got.
Yes, but we didn't get any of this. And not to point at other
Okay,
municipalities.
wait a minute here. You made, it's a man of a shell game because
Yeah.
there was a lot of different raises and additions of staff, so you did get, it might not look like it you did off this paper. It's just, again, it's the shell game of where did the money come from, because your budget has gone up substantially. So don't think you got nothing.
37%.
Yeah. So it's truly, I mean, and we talk about this in finance, and it's like, okay, why are we doing it this way? Because there was a point where we were just gonna say, okay, we don't need to track it this way, but we're still working on that. But yes, you've had a nice little pop in
Yeah.
budget.
Now we gotta take care of everything that's within that.
So, yeah, I don't even know when my next finance is, but we'll talk about this in finance, and we'll probably, this is another cow type issue, but, I think, again, if you get me the fleet, and I wanna understand the fleet and the scheduling and all that, so it's easier to.
Before you go, yeah, I'll come.
Okay, radar signs, you guys have an idea where you wanna go now?
Do you have an idea where you'd like them?
Yeah, I want them in the southbound traffic on Elida, right there, like right around Butler's house, right there in the median, right there in the easement
Mm-hmm.
for the one.
So that's the 400 block of North Olida.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I just happened to notice there's no trees in that area,
Correct.
so that's it.
And I actually had somebody from the school board ask me today why there was not a sign on that side of the road. And I said, we only got two, and we had a complaint on McNair Road from somebody that we put it out there for them.
And it makes no sense to put them both in the same area,
Correct. And I,
because it reads coming and going.
well, right now it's only reading.
Where is that part that you wanna go, where on the?
It does read,
It's like 400 block.
it reads,
I don't know what that.
It can read
You know where
coming in,
School Street's at?
but it's only
Goes
reading.
right straight into the school, it's the block just.
oh, but it can read
It's
both
between
ways.
School Street and
Yes, it can.
McNair,
Okay.
And
but facing.
during my testing period here, I'm just trying to get the data from one lane before I
So-
start adding in another lane.
I'm just gonna throw it out, the Swift Street again. That person is going to come in here.
Pecatonica.
No, the Swift Street.
Swift Street.
The Swift.
We have spent hours and hours on Swift Street.
Well, they're gonna come in here, that's
With
all I can
no-
tell you, for public comment.
Is it,
But we can wait on that.
is it the person on the south end or the north end?
Whatever, Ed.
This way or that way?
I know my direction.
So what's going on Swift Street?
I had two
Complaining about
complaints, one on each end about speeders. The person who got with me recently again, got a license plate, maybe complained to you already, I don't know. But they had the description of a vehicle. But they were gonna come in here and they didn't sign up for public comment on time, not per my suggestion, they asked me. And I said, I don't know how you do it, but I know you're too late for this meeting. So they were gonna wait till the next one.
So other than the southbound on Elida, do we wanna do Swift? I mean, we're talking about putting poles around, right?
That was the original idea, yes.
Yes, so how many do we want and where do we want them? And you have to rely on you guys for that, because.
I think the one on McNair is a good place, but not where it's at.
Needs to go
Needs to
down.
be farther
Needs
to
to
the
go further
west.
west.
Absolutely.
Facing that direction, you think, Bill?
Facing the same direction as facing,
They
yeah.
speed up, you think, as they go out of town, yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
You come around that corner, it's on your.
I like what I saw on those charts. The
Mhm.
average looked pretty good. Whether that means they slow down when they see it, but that's still. Of course, it could be, if you don't have it going both ways, maybe it's what he's saying, it's too far this way.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's, obviously, the sign is capable of doing incoming and outgoing, so means sign, people coming to the front of the sign and going away from the sign. It's set up now to only get the incoming
Correct.
to the sign.
yeah, so they're not going fast enough by that time to even register. Probably getting a false reading on that road.
Yeah, because I've noticed sitting there watching it, it's picking up vehicles on the other side of McNair.
Really?
Yep, coming to it. And
Slow it
it's-
down for the
Yeah,
stop.
coming down by the school, I've noticed that too.
Yep. Well, and the road is slightly elevated on that side of the road, so it's picking up those before picking up the cars that are actually.
Which tells you that's got a pretty good distance.
It does.
Oh, yeah.
If I turn off of Main Street here, it'll pick up my squad.
Where else do you got the signs, guys?
So the corner block of North Elida, the,
1, 2, probably the 300 block of McNair
Mhm.
going west.
Between the 300 and 400 block, yeah.
Yeah,
That gives them time to come around the corner, then if he's indicating they're stepping out, once they come around the turn off Elida.
mhm.
Where are you recording posts? Is that what you're up to?
Yeah.
How many posts?
We're
I'm just
finding out
bringing my,
where we would like to have them.
Yeah, okay.
Cunningham and Westfield, just west of,
Yeah.
facing the eastbound lanes,
Honestly, somewhere on Swift Street.
and somewhere else. There's a storage place over there, maybe we can stick it.
Put them right there.
Yeah, but that's worthless because it's right there.
Because it's by
Stop sign.
Yeah.
Maybe suggest the south end.
So somewhere around Soper and
No, farther.
Swift.
I think it's coming from the stop sign going up, but I'm not sure, maybe not. Maybe.
I know
really-
there's a car
Before
that,
Before the hill or after the hill?
Yeah, I don't know,
I know
I didn't
on
get
the
that.
north side, there's,
so I shouldn't say.
I don't know how far down they
I
go,
didn't get
but
that.
he's got a loud exhaust.
Mhm.
And he doesn't come flying, it's just,
It's just loud.
it sounds like he's scooting, there's a Pontiac G8.
Yeah,
No, it's a G8.
Whatever.
It's a G8 because I wanted one of those back in the day when we were
yeah,
coming.
we've talked to him.
But he's come past the house, and it sounds
Loud.
loud, but
Oh,
it's,
absolutely, it
he
could
is-
just be,
it's
that's all
like-
I'm saying is you get this then and you have this, well, we did, we put it on there.
Yeah,
so,
well, where you're talking, literally an hour and a half.
I saw Randy there.
And then the minute he pulled away, he got a text saying, oh, as soon as you pulled away. I find that a little suspect. I'm just saying. Just saying. But, yeah, somewhere around that area.
You would have a
for-
piece of paper.
all right, so
Yeah.
you got 4 at
You
least
could frame
storage
it.
locations in mind. And
Yes.
so you can get those posts, and I don't know who orders them, where you order them.
and then I
from.
guess in the meantime, we'll just keep an eye out towards the end of the year again and see what there is for sale that pop off.
So,
Heck must have got more of them, they're popping up,
yeah,
there's more of
they have a
them.
cheaper version than what we have.
You're right.
And that's actually what I'd like to eventually see us buy, because we've got these two that are great for recording data. We don't
Right,
need to record data everywhere. So if we were to buy maybe eventually at the end of the year. see-
they were half the cost or so, weren't they, or at least,
That I'm not 100% sure on, but we can see what the cost would be for the ones that just emit that flashing light to get you, gets your attention and then get you to slow down. We can see what that looks like at the end of the year.
We might have $1 or $2 left.
I think they.
We might.
Yeah, that's.
Community development might have.
Well, community development,
They got all kinds of money.
I heard that they were gonna donate a lot to us.
Yes.
Alright, alright.
It's
All right.
for the kids.
Any comments on the monthly crime statistics?
I have a
It's-
question on it.
The same ones that you saw at the March, or I'm sorry, at the board meeting, the April board meeting.
Oh, okay.
What's your question?
The Polaris ATV.
Yes. That was a DUI where the gentleman drove from Chesney Park to the village of Winnebago on an ATV.
Oh, my gosh.
And our officers stopped it and, yes,
In the town or down at the corner?
down at the corners. But he came down Winnebago Road, crossed the intersection, pulled into Road Ranger, and then took the ditch and crossed 20 again, and we got him on the other side of 20. That was actually an aggravated DUI. So that was.
Jeez. Alright.
Excitement never precedes, does it?
Now, would that fine increase with the new?
No, because we can't mix an ordinance and a state charge. So they would just get the DUI plus the $500 impound.
Oh, okay.
I see where you're going with it.
Just.
Yeah, just.
All right, Sergeant Haff, your report.
I've done a lot of talking. You've heard my report throughout.
Well, new business. Oh, wait, I forgot about you.
I graduate Friday, and I'll be back to work on a regular schedule on Monday.
Wait, you haven't been here?
Well, obviously, somebody hasn't missed me.
Doesn't he look so much smarter? At least
He does,
96.5% smarter?
It's got a little less hair on top of that.
That's normal.
I'm right with you, I'm not too far. We're all on the same boat,
Except for.
Hey, I just,
salt and pepper.
stuff that's on the outside, I just cut it off anyway.
All right, any new business?
Real quick, camera. You asked about the cameras today. Talked to our IT
We're
department.
talking now about the Village Hall
Yeah,
cameras.
cameras for this building. I talked to our IT department, they recommended a camera system to us. Looking at it, we could probably do it for under $1,500 for a camera system here at Village Hall to encompass all the outside cameras and all the inside cameras. We would be able to remotely view the footage from our phones or from a computer. Talking to Frank, he said that that's well within a department head spending limit, and it doesn't have to fall, it's not gonna fall on police, because it's a village item.
So the administration?
Yes, so he said we can go about it any way you would like. If you wanna step on any toes, if you wanna discuss it at a council meeting, you can, or if you just wanna let Kelly and I handle it, we'll make it happen.
I think the last time we looked at these, they were way more expensive than 1,500. Is 1,500 really gonna be acceptable? I mean, as far as the quality and what you.
We looked at third-party companies because that's what Trustee McKinnon wanted. This is just us buying a system.
Like at Home Depot?
Yep, pretty much.
Oh.
And having me run the cameras, put the cameras in, and having IT configure it for us. Actually, I think it was Trustee McKinnon.
I brought it up as a thought, and then they just.
Yeah, so if we were to just buy a system, no more than $1,500. And that's with like 12 cameras, like a ridiculous amount of cameras. So
As long as you think it'll do the job.
It's not, it's.
it'll do better than what we currently have, and it'll do better than what we had before.
I say let them handle it.
Yeah, I just emailed them, so when I was looking at the minutes, I said, wait a minute, we're talking about going on a one-off, but in how we're supposed to get together and talk about the village-wide camera system, so do we really want to start doing one-offs,
Well, I think if we just let us take care of Village Hall and get this knocked out and squared away, then if any other department wants cameras for their individual facilities, like the I have a plan for cameras out at the police garage, because right now we don't have anything over there. But I'm going to encompass not only cameras to keep the police garage secure, but also offer an internet exchange safe point for our residents.
What
So,
does that mean?
say you buy something off Marketplace or Craigslist or something like that, you want to meet in a public place that's under a camera, we would designate our parking lot over the police garage for that
It'll be covered by cameras.
and have a
And
camera
they pay
specifically.
$50 to go there?
No, that's just what we would do for the residents.
It's a service we would provide.
I don't like not having them here. I say keep going with that.
Yeah, I like I said, I talked to IT
Anybody
today,
can come in there.
and we're not, our people aren't safe if something were to happen. Residents that come in here, I mean, hasn't happened in a long time, but we've had residents come in here and fall, and now we're pulling the video for that. I think the longer we wait, we're
Something
just
could happen.
inviting more potential. And my idea for cameras for here would be on the outside of the building on all four sides, so that we're making sure our generators
tampered with.
and our parking is secure for our employees. And Kelly suggested that we point a camera out towards the park. Not a bad idea.
Mhm.
So, the camera systems I looked at today, like I said, no more than $1,500, and we can get this thing up and rolling and right as rain.
And Frank's on board, so.
Yeah, Frank said, if you wanted to bring it up at Cal, great. If not, also great.
What just called me?
Well, they wanted to swear in the officers, I mean, all of us that.
We'll see, we'll see what
So we
happens.
have to do that, so.
There was no date or anything.
No,
It
I
was
didn't.
very-
I keep hearing it.
How long have I
but
been on this, trustee? That's how long we've been talking about county.
Yeah,
Right.
I've been here for 2 years. and-
Well, and he talked about that.
So items for the regular board meeting?
Yes, items for the board meeting,
Employee,
employee. I think that's.
anything for UTV ordinance?
No, we're working on that.
So it'll be your June meeting, is probably your target, our target date then for that.
Yeah, we'll adjourn. I can let you know if we need to do anything for, the camera, the finance part of it to the board or not. I'm just trying to remember when the next finance meeting is.
And I hope that he gets back to me quickly on the breakdown of what each item costs.
Yeah, you can just let me know that.
No executive session, right?
No executive session, can we take a motion?
I'll
for
take a
adjournment?
motion for adjournment.
Second,
All in favor? Adam?
Yes.
Jason?
yes.
Julie? Yes, thank you.
What time you got?
1903.